Good morning. Today we are doing multiplying and dividing in integers. The second day, number 2. We're going to start off by finding a mean. This partially includes some of what we learned in the first unit with adding and subtracting. So mean is another word for the average. That didn't look very good. Let's try that one again. There we go. The average. So what is the average? It's really the sum of all the values, which really means adding up all of the numbers. We're going to add them all up, and we're going to divide by the number of values that we have, which I like to think of as how many. How many numbers do we have here? So we're going to add them all up, and then we're going to divide by how many we have. Right now I know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers, so I'm going to end up dividing this by 7. So if I add them all up, I could write out 0 plus -4 plus -10 plus 4 plus 11. That's a lot of work though, you guys. So instead, I'm going to combine all of my negatives and all of my positives to make it a little bit more simple. So here's a -4, a -10, a -9, and a -13. We're going to combine all those together. 4 plus 10, 9, and 13. If you need to write it out like this, oops, let's start on one side here. We can do that. So 4 plus 10 plus 9 plus 13. So 4 plus 0, 9 plus 4 is 13, 14, 15, 16 on this side. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So we have 36. But those were all negative numbers. Remember, same sign, add and keep. We added them all up. We have -36. And then our positives, 0. 0 is really neither. I just included the positives, but it doesn't matter. So 0 plus 4 is 4. 4 plus 11 is 15. So now we need to simplify. Before we can divide, we really need to simplify this whole top piece. So we have negative and positive, different signs, subtract. So 36 minus 15, just the bigger number minus the smaller number. 6 minus 5 is 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. So in the numerator we have 21. But there were more negatives, so it's a -21. In the denominator we have a 7. So we're going to use our multiplication table to find 7 and follow it to -21. If you do that, you should get 3. However, a negative and a positive, happy and grumpy, they don't get along. It's going to be a -3. Also, we know 3 times 7 is 21. Let's try the same thing on the next one. We're going to combine all of our numbers, and we're going to divide by how many do we have? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I like to put that in the denominator right away because some people forget. Some people would just tell me the answer is -21 over here and forget about dividing by 7. So I'm going to combine all my negatives first. So same sign, add and keep. So 12, 9, 8, and 2, we're adding all of those up. Well, 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 9 is 19, 20, and 21. Then we have 2 plus 1 is 3. So we have a 31. They were all negatives. And then we have 5 plus 10 plus 16 plus 8. So we're going to add all those up. 5, 10, 16, 8. 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 plus 5 more is 19. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So we have plus 39. So if we combine these on the top, different signs, subtract. 39 minus 31 gives us 8. But there are more positives, so it's a positive 8. Over 8, 8 divided by 8, 8 goes into 8 one time. So the answer is 1. So here's a real life example of finding the mean. One of the coldest places on Earth is the Russian town of Verkhoyansk. I don't know how to say that. Which is located near the Arctic Circle. Really the polar ice cap, the South Pole, basically. Could be the North Pole, sorry, Arctic Circle. Find the mean of the average high temperatures during the winter in that town. Use a table. So they're asking you to find the average of all of these temperatures. So we're going to do exactly what they say, add them all up, and divide by how many do we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 months. We're going to end up dividing by 4. So if we combine these, they're all negatives. Same sign, add and keep. So we have 41, 40, 48, and 19. Adding up this column on the right, I know 9 and 1 make 10, plus 8 more, 18. So we have 18. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 4 gives us 9. 9 plus 4 is going to give us 13. And one more is 14. So 148. Those are all negatives. Alright, so we have 148 divided by 4. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. If we use our multiplication table, if we find 4 and follow it to 148, it's going to be off our multiplication table. So this is one where we might actually need to do long division. We're going to take 148 and divide it by 4. Does 4 go into 1? No. Does 4 go into 14? Yes. 4 goes into 14 how many times? 4 goes into 14 3 times. 4 times 3 is 12. So we subtract. And we have 2 left over. Then we bring down the next number, 8, 28. 4 times what goes into, or 4 times what is 28? How many times does 4 go into 28? 4 times 7 is exactly 28. So our answer is 37. 4 times 37 would give us 148. However, the average we're looking for, they're all negatives. Happy grumpy, they don't get along. We have negative 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Flip over to the next page. We're just evaluating when A is 3, B is negative 4, and C is negative 8. So again, if these two are touching, that means multiply. So we have A multiplied by C. Well, A is 3 multiplied by C, which is a negative 8. Happy and grumpy, they don't get along. If we use our multiplication table, 8 times 3, or 8 3 times, will give us 24. Next we have C divided by B. C is negative 8 divided by B, which is negative 4. Two grumpy numbers, we know they get along. How many times does 4 go into 8? Well, 4 times 2 would give us 8. Again, if you need to use your multiplication table, find 4 and follow it to 8. Next, we're getting a little bit more advanced. We have A times B, then subtract C. So A is 3 times B, which is a negative 4, then subtract C, which is a negative 8. I like to put these numbers in parentheses to show which are subtracting and which are adding. So we know the opposite of a negative here really becomes a positive. So first, happy and grumpy, they don't get along, so we have negative. 3 times 4 should give you 12. Hopefully you know that one. If not, we got to work on our adding or multiplying skills. And it says plus 8. So we have grumpy, happy, negatives, positives. You guys, we have more negatives. How many more? 12 minus 8, or if we count up from 8, should get negative 4. The last one, A, C, B. A times C times B. So A is 3, so we have 3 times C, which is negative 8, times B, which is negative 4. So first two here, happy and grumpy, they don't get along. 8 times 3 is 24. Multiplied by negative 4, two grumpy numbers, they get along. 24 isn't on our multiplication table, so this is one we might want to write out by hand. 24 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. So it should be a 96. If you wrote out 24 4 times and just added them up, that's really the same thing. You would have gotten 96. Now a little bit of review, absolute value, but with our multiplying. Anything that goes in our shower, remember, comes out positive or clean, so 14. And then we have 14 times 3. So let's use our multiplication table for that one. Here's 3. Here's 14. If we follow to where they meet, we should get 42. So multiplying those, we get 42. All right, on to the next one. These are touching, so we know that's multiply. Two grumpy people get along. 7 times 8. 7, 8 should give us 56. Oops, other way. Multiplied by absolute value of negative 4. Anything that goes in the shower comes out clean. Again, 56 isn't going to be on our multiplication table, so we need to multiply this one out. 6 times 4 is 24. You can use your multiplication table for that fact if you need to. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 more is 22. So we have 224. So the next two, absolute value of negative 5 comes out clean. It's just 5 times, these are just parentheses, negative 7. Happy and grumpy, they don't get along. 5 times 7, here's 5, here's 7, should give us 35. Keep going the wrong way. Whoa, too far. Negative 35. All right, this is all multiplication. We're just going to work our way across. Anything in the absolute value comes out clean. So we really have 3 times 4 times negative 5. Maybe you know this one. 3 times 4 is 12 times a negative 5. Happy and grumpy, they don't get along, so it's going to be a negative. So 12 times 5, here's 5, here's 12. We should get 60. So it's a negative 60. All right, very last couple, I would like you to try on your own, and then click play to see if you got them right. We have A multiplied by B. A is 3 times B, which is negative 4, and then add C. C is really, let's fill that in actually, C is a negative 8. So happy and grumpy, they don't get along. We know 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 12 plus negative 8. Same sign, you guys, all negative, same sign, add and keep. 12 plus 8 should give you 20. They're all negatives though, so it should be a negative 20. Keep the negative sign. Down below, evaluate when x is 3. There's not even an x in here. Y is negative 6, and z is 2. So we have the absolute value of negative 6 divided by a negative, don't forget that negative, z, which is 2. So anything in the shower comes out clean. 6 divided by negative 2. Happy and grumpy, they don't get along. You can find 2 and follow it to 6. Otherwise, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So your answer should be a negative 3. All right. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, your homework will be just like what we worked on today.